Friday, we are back in beautiful Boise, Idaho, where it happens to be really cold and rainy and nasty. I don't know. Either way, hey, it feels good to be home. So, want to say welcome everybody to another crazy Freaky Friday, and find out who's in the audience. Of course, got Wild Angel says, "Hi everyone, it was great to see y'all this week from Seattle. It was a great trip, and we're going to talk about that here in a sec." And JC, my man, good to see you, brother. Love having it. Okay, so those are the early guys and gals that hopped in the stream. So I hope you guys are out there and gonna have some fun, because we're going down the rabbit hole. It's gonna be crazy. But as you know, on Friday, man, kick your shoes off at the door. Kick back, relax, because mi casa is su casa. Fix yourself a drink. Ready yet? Make it two. It could get a little weird. Snacks and treats and everything galore, of course, by Idaho Candy Company. That's right. And we even have a few people who just got to try some Idaho candy direct from Idaho while we're in Seattle. We gave some of that away, so we might have to get some more opinions on that. But as you guys know, I love to dive down the rabbit hole of philosophy and everything going on in the world, but I want to give you a little update on the crypto space. Now, as you guys know, last week I was not here. I was actually in a hotel room in Seattle doing Freaky Friday, and the event I went to was called Deep in Day. Now, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. It was my very first one. And as you can see right here, yep, that crazy bald guy, yep, that would be me and Wild Angel sitting front row and center. Hosted by none other than Action Crypto. And absolutely love this guy. The humor and the intellectual prowess that was going on at this event was absolutely amazing. Give you a little taste of that real quick here.
What are we missing?
Sean could not make it. He got snowed in.
All right. Dylan, you want to step up? Okay, just checking.
Dylan, yeah, Dylan got an invite. He's like, oh, hell no. But Dylan is with us today in the stream. Now, one of the big topics here was talking about edge computing. And so that's one thing I want to cover with you guys today in the crypto side, because I've decided to start a new adventure. Let's see. Top of the evening. Top of the evening. Okay, sorry. It took me a second. I'm like, what? Thanks, Hasray. Good to see you, buddy. So there's a lot of great information. Now, we've talked about Deep In time and time again. We talked about the helium devices, all the different devices that are building the decentralized private infrastructure network. And I think that's absolutely a great use case. I see very much that's what crypto is moving towards, is an actual utility, a use for it. And that's essentially what Deep In does. But they talked about edge computing a lot. And that was a huge topic there. And so with that, coupled with the information that we had, I want to back up a couple seconds. I decided to start a new adventure. I'll tell you about that here in a second. Rogue English says, "Hey, I will not speak public. Your audio sounds far here and there." Okay, and it might be from the computer. Am I still doing the fade in, fada? Yes, my system was having a fit the other day, so I tried to adjust it, and it's probably still being possessed. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Some cleanup. Let's turn off. Okay. Presser, de-easer, and pop. Okay, let me know if that works any better, guys. I've got everything turned off but the gate, so hopefully that's much better. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that, because, yeah, when my system goes weird, and everything's been weird. Have you guys noticed that, too? Is it just me, or is, like, all computers in the world going weird? Crow even said his was possessed. So, as I was saying before I started rambling and going off on the topic, now, while it was a Deep in Day, ad says, there we go, I got to meet some amazing people. And one that I got to actually hang out with and have some fun with was none other than Action himself. So, yep, that's a picture of Action. Beautiful, handsome face. I feel honored that I was able to go in a day before and kind of hang out behind the scenes and kind of crash his party. It was so cool to see that place backstage. You would not believe. This place is a phenomenal studio. And apparently it's the exact same studio that they filmed Mandalorian in. Same kind of setup. It's like, oh my God, this is cutting edge technology stuff. Super awesome. So got to meet Action. Now somebody else I got to hang out with is this gentleman here, which is Mr. Peter Varga. Now for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you've heard me talk about Crank several times in a lot of my videos. He is the CEO of the Crank Network. So got to spend a little time with Peter, and an absolute blast. He's so humble and so down to earth, and that's the great thing about these events is you hear about all these people on these talks and these events, these streams, and you're like, man, I don't know if they want to talk to some dumb guy like me. Well, they really do. And the great part about this is these people are humble. They're down to earth. They're not. They don't brag about who and what they are. They're just people trying to make a better world. And so if their project and their protocol takes off and they happen to have several people or hundreds of people below them, they are still the most down earth. In fact, during the stream at one point in time, Action comments themselves like, yeah, I'm just the janitor here. And all the CEOs of these companies were saying, no, I'm just a fuzzy nerd herder. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, that's how they perceive it. And so it's really interesting to meet these people face to face and find out that, yeah, they're just like me and you. They put their pants on one leg at a time, and all they're trying to do is build something great. And that's what we're trying to do here at Down Home Crypto, is build something great and take everybody along with us. So let me get, I see comments flowing by. See, my old piece stopped detecting my USB. Ooh, that sucks. Owner error. Okay. What about me? Yes. Relax. Gotcha. Rogue hit a hammer and may get it working. I don't know what you guys are doing out there, but it sounds like things are going terribly sketchy. So it was a great event. Now, ETH Denver is coming up end of February. And Wild Angel and myself are going to be flying out there and meeting up with the Rogue Evolution team, Smiley, and just going to go around there for, I think we're there for 5 days. So it's going to be an absolute blast. And I'm going to do a lot more videos and recording from there because I want to go visit some of these booths and talk to these people and find out what it is they're building. So that's coming up here in just a few weeks. Really exciting. If you happen to be in the area or you're going to be going, let me know. I would absolutely love to meet up with you. Okay, so let's dive down the crypto rabbit hole just so everybody's up to speed on what's going down. So the first thing, we talked about HIP 138, I believe it was. I lost my notes. And that is the transition from mobile tokens and IoT tokens over to HNT. Now, oh, okay, I see what time. Somebody just snuck in backstage. I'm like, who's that? So I have not started receiving my HNT as of yet, but our brother Duff, he did start receiving his HNT on his cell phone plan. And here's a screenshot of what he sent me. And as you can see, he had his mobile tokens, but he did start receiving HNT. Now, one thing I do want to advise you to is if you're running a hotspot, definitely go in and update your mobile app. Helium Builder. Yeah, that's the app for it. Because my hotspots have not been earning for the last couple days. Now, I didn't update my Helium Builder until just today, so I'm wondering if that wasn't it. But keep an eye on that. If you're not earning, then definitely go in and check that out. Okay, so next thing. So Rainmaker partnered with Aether. Now, I might have told you about this in the last stream. It happened January 15th. Now, Rainmaker is one that I've done several videos on, and I think it's a great opportunity. It's glitchy. It has an attitude. But you can earn some serious tokens with it, which should have a pretty good payday in the future. Sadly, Duff did not run his long enough to get his moon drop last month, so it does take a few weeks until you get up and going and start collecting those moon drops. But once you do, if you burn those tokens, that does a permanent economic boost for the next cycle. And that permanent boost stays for every cycle after that, so you can continue to build upon it. But because of this information, and because after I did a little research and I went here to Deepin Scan, I realized that the Aether Edge is still pulling down about $8 a day. That's not bad. It is a $1,400 device. But at Deepin Day, they talked a lot about edge computing. Now, if you don't know what edge computing is literally the user, people like us. Okay, so if you're playing an online game and you're utilizing their graphics, their things like that, they need to bring that computing power as close to the user like us as possible. Okay, so that's what they consider edge. We are the edge users. So the whole thing about edge computing is to bring that power as close as possible to the users instead of at a central database like at Amazon or someplace like that. So with that information, with a partnership with Rainmaker, looking at what the daily return is on the edge, I have decided that I'm going to be very soon doing a video on the edge miner. That's right. Got myself an Aether Edge. Worked out a deal with Enchantment, and yes, you can still get these. They're $1,400, but you can save 10% or up to 10% with the discount code Serenity. And I had that in my notes, so you can go check that out. I lost it. There it is. I'll put a link to Enchantment in the description if you want to check it out. But they are a full Deepin supplier. If you're looking for the Star Power plug, anything like that, go in and shop around. Go through Helium Deploy. Go through Enchantment. Go through all these suppliers and get the best deal. I've got a discount code at pretty much everybody. Try Serenity out. And, it doesn't hurt me if you don't use it. If you use somebody else, I don't care. I really want you to succeed. And I recommend go shop around the prices because different websites will have different prices. So, highly recommend check that out. Alpha Cruise, it's not me. It's always Alpha Cruise. We know it's always Alpha Cruise. Network is horrid tonight, so if I leave suddenly, that's why. Okay, thanks, Alpha. And yeah, I've been having all kinds of computer things. Like I was saying, I swear my electronics are possessed or AI is taking over. Could be a bit of both. Maybe it's a Chinese router I'm running. I think I've got a TP link, so that could be it too. Okay, so back to where we were. So yes, go in, check out the prices because everyone has different prices. Just know that with the discount code Serenity, you can save up to 10%. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is Jupuary. Now, I did mention this, that they were coming up and you could check your allocation. Now that has occurred and you can claim your allocation. But I will warn you, if you have a wallet that was tagged as Sybil, and I'll show you right here on mine. I put the link in the chat to go to Jupuary. Right here says your wallet has been flagged as likely Sybil or Farmer. Man, this is the same Solana wallet I've had for 3 years. Same one I used on the last moon drop, Jupiter drop a year ago. Why it's flagged, I don't know. The form has not been released yet. Keep an eye on the Jupiter Discord. Once that form is released, it's supposed to show up here on the screen somewhere. I haven't seen it yet, and they keep saying, oh, it's coming, it's coming. So be ready for that if you do get that same thing. And if you don't have that, then yeah, go ahead and claim your tokens. From there, you can choose to stake them. You could turn them into a blue chip, whatever you want to do. But a big suggestion I highly recommend is put them to work for you. If you earn some free money on these airdrops, on Rainmaker, on whatever you're making it on, put it to work. Because remember, like we talked in Rags to Riches, money is just a tool. And if you don't have it working for you, that's an employee that's just sitting on their butt. Get them up, get them to work for you. That way you can continue to grow your portfolio. Okay, let's see. DeepSeek using your network. Yeah, it probably is using my network hash rate. Actually, I have a lot of things using my network, and why my system hasn't just melted down yet, I really don't know. In fact, I've got a couple new ones to share with you tonight that I've been playing with. So one of them that I've been looking at is called... Oh man, I just drew a total blank. Thank you, DNet. Wow, I hate it when I draw a blank. Now, DNet is a little bit interesting. It does have a free-to-earn option here that you can do with the App Store or the Google Play. And if it's something you believe in, after you've done your research, you can go in and reserve a data keeper node. Now, right now, to reserve a data keeper node, you have to reserve $400. Now, it is a tiered system, I'll let you know right now. And the data keeper nodes are going to run for $473 right now. But as you can see, after those 246 nodes are sold, it'll go up. So it's a tiered system, but it doesn't begin for another 48 days. So this is one of those, if you think it's worthwhile getting into, you've done research, then you might consider it. But the DNet, not the data keeper node, the Watcher node, Watcher node is free to earn. And I did put that in the Down Home Crypto Discord, in the links there, as well as I'll share it here with you guys also. But as always, guys, do your own research and decide if it's right for you. There we go. I'm just going to pop this in the chat right now so you guys have that. Let's see. Man, chat's just scrolling by. Let's see. AT&T is making me 4 to 8x now on my average of POC. Is this normal? 48 times now on average? Huh. I don't know. Your AT&T returns have gone up that much? 20 cents to $4. I don't know, Rogue. We'll chat about that here in a sec. We'll get you up here and, yeah, once we get everybody on stage, because I know several people here have been running the cell phone plans and have the Helium mobile devices running. Mobile and IoT devices. So once we get everybody up on stage, let's compare some numbers. Let's find out. Helium mobile, yeah, okay. So yeah, let's find out, because I've been curious. I haven't even gotten any returns since they did that transition. So yeah, we will find out there. Okay, next thing on the free-to-earn journey. Now, I just discovered this a couple days ago. And it's called, of course, like I said, my system's possessed. It's called Havelo. Now, Havelo words are hard. Does something very similar as we've done before. It takes your unutilized computer resources and essentially rents them out. Okay, now we've done this a lot of times with different protocols through Chrome extensions. What makes Havelo really unique is that it is a one application that you install, and it can capitalize on your CPU, your GPU, data storage, your RAM, everything you've got. and it runs an AI algorithm to decide what is the most profitable token for you to be earning with it, as well as what are your computer resources. So I'm running it currently on 2 different machines. And the one that's much lower end, of course, it's not utilizing the GPU because it doesn't have one. So it's picking and choosing those protocols automatically. So if it's something you want to check out, then like I always say, run these on the computer you don't have sensitive information on. Not something you have your bank account or your crypto wallet, things like that. Put it on a completely separate system. And I've got one down here on the floor that's running all that kind of junk. And that way, if it does get hacked or compromised, I don't worry about it because there's nothing really on it. No personal data, no personal information. But if it is something you want to dive into, I know Smiley Girl has already dove down the rabbit hole of it. And I will shoot the link right there. But always do your own research and decide if it's right for you before you start installing the software. Okay, be safe out there because things are getting crazy. Okay, so that was Havel. Now, next piece of information. I know I'm going through this kind of fast, guys. If there's anything that I've covered or you have a question, toss them in the chat there. I want to answer it, but I want to get the party started because, man, it's Friday. We've got to cover the real quick crypto, then we got to get into fun stuff because that's where the fun is. But next thing I want to share with you guys is I really hope you've been paying attention and you went out and watched this video. Why is it so important? I even posted this in the Discord yesterday. Well, I'm going to give you guys a hint.
File your
right
taxes
here.
100% free in the app. If
Wow, that's really loud and noisy.
you didn't use this
Because
last
I
year.
don't think all
Just
of
file
you,
it.
there we go, have completed this task. So we're going to jump to the end. I really would appreciate if you go watch this entire video. But in case you don't, and you happen to be here tonight, here you go. This is my free gift to you. Video and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to keep bringing you the best crypto information I can. I want to thank you very much for your time. And until next time, have a great night. So, no, you never put that at the beginning because that's where all the vultures hang out. They just want to win free stuff. I want to give these Star Plug devices to people who, whoa, I got to go. Hey, glad you stuck around to the end because I was, in fact, just talking about you. Sorry, a little weird here. But to help you get started in the Star Power Network, I want to give away 2 Star Plug devices. And I'm going to do that to viewers like you who stuck around here till the end to make sure that they got the full story. So how do you enter? It's actually real easy. There's 2 links in the description down below. The first one will take you to the Star Power X page. Make sure to follow them over there and let them know Serenity sent you. Put a link to this video just to prove that you were there. Second of all, jump in the Star Power Discord. Announce in the chat, Serenity sent me. That way we can verify you're a real person. Once you've accomplished both those tasks, go down in the description of this video, put in the word Discord and your Discord ID. That way we know who to contact. On February 1st, I'm going to be drawing 2 names from the comments down below. But I will be checking to make sure you are following over on X and in the Discord. If you've done both of those and your name is drawn, you will be receiving a free Star Plug shipped out directly from Star Power. It's just one of the ways we say thank you for being a loyal member of the Down Home Crypto community and supporting the Star Power Network. So good luck on the drawing, and I hope to draw your name February 1st. Have a great night. How about I unmute? Let's do that. Yep, thank you. Just as I unmute, I see muted. Thanks, Alpha. Love it, brother. So, guys, I put this stuff at the end of the videos because I don't want just all the vultures and the people who just hang out to try to win free stuff. So, as you notice, description, I didn't say anything about it, nor in the video title, anything, because I'm really trying to get people like you, the ones who want to be a part of this community and to learn and get active in it. I don't want to be giving these things away to just anybody off the street who already has a stockpile of them. I really want to help you guys get started. So, go check out that video because tomorrow I will be drawing those names. And so, real simple. Make sure to follow them on X, jump in the Star Power Discord, say Serenity sent me, and then go to the video and put the word Discord and your Discord ID in there. Because that's what I'm going to be picking for what I put on the wheel of win. Wheel to win. Yeah. The winning wheel. Yeah, that thing. So, I really want to see one of you or both of you guys and gals win one of these. Because I want them to go to somebody who really needs that start. And I know there's a lot of you out there saying, I'd love to get started and deep in, but I can't afford the hardware. I get it. And that's why I'm trying to make these giveaways and make them so that you guys can win them. So, okay. Now, I think we've gone through all the crypto stuff. But now I think we need to have a quick pause. Because, see, I've always preached to you guys, when you go out in the world, have a smile. Say please, say thank you. Try to brighten up other people's days. Well, on my journey to Seattle, I got to do that to several people. One of them was Karina here. Now, she was working at a gift shop in the airport, and I came by and she was looking kind of sad, and I was like, excuse me. And I started putting ducks out on the counter, and her face just lit up. And I showed her the Project Duck Depression. She's going to sign up, and she's a part-time content creator as well. And so, yeah, I tried to go around and I spread these out, and you want to pose for a picture? She's like, yeah, absolutely. And there was only like 4 or 5 ducks there. And she thought that was great. She's like, can I have more ducks? I'm like, sure. So I took my whole pocket and I emptied it out there. And she's like, I am going to spread this all over the airport. Everybody who comes by, I'm going to give them a duck with their gift. It's going to be great. And she just totally brightened up. It does change the world. So everybody out, do me a favor. Go out and spread some duck love. And to help understand exactly what Project Duck Depression is about, let's bring up one of the founders, Mr. Cyril Kier himself. Cyril, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, my man. Going good. So tell us a little bit. For those who might be new here, they don't know what Project Duck Depression is or why I am giving these to people at airports and doing all this crazy stuff and even posing them on the airplane, which, yeah, this is me. Screwing around, having fun with ducks. What are the ducks all about, brother?
Yeah, the ducks are to help raise awareness, for mental health. And, to help remind everyone that depression sucks, have a duck. And we like to leave the duck around to bring smiles to people's faces. And they've yet to fail to do so. It's funny, I actually went to pick up something today at the pharmacy. And I walk on in there and I see 2 little yellow ducks sitting on top of their register. And I'm like, oh. And it brought a smile to my face because I knew my wife had been there and had dropped off some ducks.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Yes, AlphaGur's Duck Love. You got it, buddy. So everybody out there, do me a favor. Click the link there. Sign up for Project Duck Depression. And you can get some little ducks on Amazon or just anywhere. Big thing out there is there's people who are fighting this depression. And you'll never know it because they're not going to talk about it. But you'd be amazed. Just like this lady here from the airlines. She was looking all serious and depressed. But man, I lined up ducks on her monitor and look at her face. She just lit up. And I'm like, okay, can I take your picture to send this over? She's like, yes, please do. This is the best thing all day. She was just stoked. And then all of a sudden the announcements come over the loudspeaker. She's all happy and cheery. And before it's like, yes, flight 137, everybody board. Then she's like, yeah, right, flight 137, we're ready to go. Literally, it was a phenomenal change. So, Simon, how did you guys come up with Project Duck Depression?
Well, it kind of started off as this little thing that I did to help practice putting myself out there more, I guess. I've always been very much an introvert and kind of kept to myself. And, part of growth is establishing connection, right? Connection with others. And so in an effort to kind of build myself up to that, I just ordered a little baggie of like 100 of the little yellow resin ducks off Amazon. And I started just leaving around places, and the first time I went to go do it, my hands were like shaking super bad because I felt like I was doing something I shouldn't have been, and what does that say about society, right? That it has so many of us feel like just trying to brighten someone's day anonymously is a wrong act, right? Like,
yeah, it's weird. I did the same thing when I was trying to put those on the monitor. My hand was like this, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, she's gonna yell at me. She's gonna yell at me. And then she just turns around. She looks like, oh my god! It's like, whew, okay, I thought I was going to jail.
Right? Exactly.
Right.
And as long as you are mindful of a couple of things, like don't put them down low, because then a small kid or maybe a service animal or whatnot could accidentally eat it, right? And you don't want a choking hazard. So, just be mindful with it. But
exactly.
Yeah, spread the love.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, that's what we're all about here on Down Home Crypto, sharing the love and just having a good time. If we get educated and make a few bucks along the way using rules of solvency and some wisdom, absolutely. And we're here to grow each other and support each other. And, Sai, I was actually talking to one guy today who I heard is going to start be a content creator and just might need some of our love and support.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And did he seriously just vanish? Oh, of course he snuck away at that point in time. Let's see if he's really there. Alpha, you there? He's not. He went AFK. I was going to put him on the spot, too. Yeah, Alpha Cruz is wanting to start a content creator career. And I was super stoked. Like, wow, that's great. What can I do to help? And just like Project Duck Depression, a lot of people have ideas, they have dreams, they have things they want to do, but we don't always know. And so the biggest thing that I learned in this industry, with Alex, with Action, with all these people, is they always want to help pay it forward. And so I was really hoping Alpha could give us some information, but we'll have to come back to him in a minute. So, of course, we're getting kind of too much testosterone up here. We got to bring on some beautiful ladies to brighten the spectrum. Smiley girl, how you doing?
Hi, Serenity. Hi, Sai. Hi, Alpha, when you come back.
Yeah, he snuck out. I don't know what the hell happened there. How you doing, dear?
I'm much better, thank you. How are you?
Good. Doing pretty good. I noticed you got your camera off. What happened? No pretty camera today?
No, I have these dark circles under my eyes. I'm just really tired, so I was like, forget it. Camera off tonight.
We're off. No peeky. Okay.
That's me pretty much every Friday night, which is why I stopped getting on camera.
It makes sense.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and I'm just glad you're feeling better, dear, because I know you had the plague. I mean, that stuff is vicious.
It was hard. I was a lot sicker than I thought and expected. The third day, I actually took myself to urgent care because I was getting worse every day instead of better, and it kind of started to scare me a little bit. Hey, Alpha.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh no.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely glad that you went in, you got feeling better. Were they able to give you anything to make that better, or did you just like, nah, go drink liquids?
There's not really anything to do. They just said rest and a lot of liquids, and so that's what I did. And I coughed.
That's good.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
An awful lot.
The hard part is the coughing. I don't like to cough, but
no, and it hurts.
I know. After a while, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna stop.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Most of the time. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're over that. Now you just got to rest, get your body back up to speed, and then next week the party begins, right?
Yes, because I start lifting again Monday. I have not worked out for like a week, and it's killing me. So today I started walking a little bit and trying to get back to it. So yeah, it's hard.
I'll bet. I really need to start doing that because, I realized after walking all over Seattle and stuff, and we went on some decent walks, but Wild Angels make fun of me. It's like, we just climbed that mountain, and you're kind of huffing and puffing there. Like, I know, and I quit smoking years ago. What the hell? Too much of sitting in this chair. That's my problem. I got to start doing something.
Okay. Yeah, do what is fun and what you enjoy, and then you'll keep it up because the consistency is the key.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's my worst part, too. I've never been a consistent person. Except trouble. I'm good at trouble. So, Alpha, welcome back, buddy. I gave you a great intro, and you weren't even here for it, brother.
I'm sorry, I had to run to go sort out something quickly. I think you saw.
Okay.
I didn't have anything on here earlier.
He invited me.
I realized I was like,
earlier,
shoot.
and I come into the chat, and I'm like, dude, you're naked. He's like, no, I'm not. It looked like he was naked, though. I'm like,
I
dude.
didn't have a suit on. Okay.
X-rated party backstage at Serenity's house. Yeah, you never know what you're going to find here.
So I just waited to put in this video quickly.
That works. So, Alpha, I was giving away your secrets of wanting to be a content creator, and you got like this whole journey plan. So, tell us about it, my man. What do you got going?
Yeah. I've been trying to focus on it because, goodness me, the amount of things that go on in this brain sometimes it's hard to keep up for myself. So recently, I've really been thinking on it very hard and actually trying to get a little more focus on it, where I want to go and create my own content, and abstract also as this content thing, the content creator thing, which is so cool. So I was like, okay, maybe if I get in there, then it's even better, head start for me. But I definitely want to probably go into YouTube and X. I've done X Spaces before, so I want to get back into that. And I've been working with Chain Factory for a while, so I do an event there every week. So I might as well just start doing my own things again. Like, I've done so many things, weekly, kind of events at different Discords or projects. It's about time I start doing my own thing. That's just like, my brain's just like, it's about time. I need to take things into my own hands and focus on things for myself. And it's not like I don't enjoy it. I enjoy writing blogs. I enjoy writing articles. I enjoy writing how-tos and narrating things to people, explaining how things work. So might as well just do it. Focus on that. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It is. And believe it or not, it is still work, but you already know that because you've done this before. Now, Alpha, you told me about Abstract earlier today, and I just signed up for it today. So, hey, here's your chance. Tell us about Abstract, my man. What is it, and why should we go check it out?
So Abstract, abs.xyz, I think you have like the thing was shown there. It's a Layer 2 blockchain, technically built on Ethereum as a scaling solution. Scaling solution is just it's a chain that's built on Ethereum, so that Ethereum is kind of scales further, so more people can use it without completely trashing the network. I feel like there's a few of us that has been here in the era of trying to mint an NFT for $400. We want to avoid that. We don't want to spend an ETH to mint an NFT, so you use a scaling solution. Now, Abstract is kind of different to everything else we've seen, where their whole wallet is a web-based wallet. As you can see here, this is literally their wallet. It's their dApps, it's their swap, this is where you find your NFTs. It's all of those things in one place. The reason is that they try to make it as easy as possible to onboard people that are not native to crypto. So you don't need to go download MetaMask. You don't need to go download Rabby, create a wallet, save your seed phrase, write down your seed phrase, check that you got your seed phrase right, and all of those nonsense. Like it's too much of a pain. Instead, it uses account abstraction, which is a method where it's technically, I suppose it's called an EOA, I'll just have to double check on the term there, but it's basically a smart contract as your wallet. So that wallet isn't exactly a wallet in what we know it as. It's a smart contract, and you interact with it by signing up through an email address, through your Google account, through another wallet even. Because that's the thing. You can technically use another wallet to sign up, and then there you go. Your wallet is set up. You don't have to write down a seed phrase. You don't have to go be like, oh, where's my metal disc of my titanium list of 12 seed phrases, or your crypto tag, or your what's the other thing. You don't need that. You just 2FA it. There you go. Sorted. Use your Google account. I mean, sure, you have to link your Google account, but it's for the normal people. It's not for us.
Exactly. And now, Alpha, real quick, do you have a referral link or something you can put in the chat there that we share? Throw it in private chat, and I'll share yours. Since you're the one who brought it to the attention, I want to make sure any referrals go to you, because you're bringing this to our attention.
Does ABS have? I'm not sure if it even has a referral link, actually.
I don't know. Well, if you find one, definitely share it.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Let me go check.
Awesome.
I don't know.
And that Duff says, sorry I couldn't hang out tonight, but I wanted to stop and say hi. Also, I see Alpha's talking a lot. I bet he is dumping a wealth of knowledge. Yes. Yes, Dan. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, my man. And we got to get you back in here.
Yeah, where's Duff tonight? Probably work.
Yeah, he is probably working. We got a couple more people backstage we got to bring up here because, this party's just getting started here. Now, of course, I don't go anywhere without my own personal security and bodyguard, Mr. Rabbit Crow himself. What's up, my man?
Rabbit Crow?
You're Rabbit. You're kind of foaming at the mouth after this week. Yeah. Not Rabbit. No,
that's what I thought you were saying. I was like,
Smart. Yeah.
He is.
Hey, Crow.
what's up, everybody?
How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Just got back from the store.
Nice. What kind of chunks of meat did you get this time?
I got a what was it?
I knew it. I knew it.
A roast. It's basically a big old piece of roast meat.
Yeah. We talked earlier about your smoker fetish thing you've got going, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Out there at the grill, just going, yes, it's okay.
I love. Did you name your grill?
As a joke, yes.
Point proven. I'm done. Case closed.
we were sitting, and it was me, Revenant, and my girlfriend Ray. We're all sitting there talking, and he was like, "Hey," my buddy was like, "Hey, just whatever you do, don't name your grill. Don't be that one guy." And I was like, "I'm gonna name it just to piss you off." He's like, "No, you won't." I was like, "Watch me do it." I was like, "What'd you name your grill?" I was like, "Josephine."
Oh, that's clever.
Oh.
That is. I like that. I like that. So, well, since we're bringing the crazies up, we got one more crazy backstage, none other than Mr. Dylan himself. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. I
Hi.
thought you forgot about me.
And
what?
look how well
I
Angel
thought you
in the
forgot
chat.
about me. It's been 36
Oh, God, no. I can put you backstage if you like.
Yeah, 4 more minutes.
It takes time. Okay, I can do that. Okay, so now he's backstage again. Careful what you wish for. You might get it. I had to do it, man. so,
No comment.
so, Dylan, now, of course, you were at Deep in Day. You even had an option to speak, but you didn't. Why not, buddy?
I'm too humble for it. I don't want the attention. I would rather give it to where the respect is due. That's how I am. I don't want to do respect for any acknowledgement whatsoever. I'd rather be the guy in the background making things happen.
Nice. So I will let you guys know that if you look at this one particular screenshot I took here of Deep in Day, yes, Dylan is in that picture. Not going to tell you who, but he is hiding in that group. Ha! Found you.
Old guy.
I was strategic.
No, I'm the bald.
They had to move.
I can barely hear you, Dylan. You're like way away from your mic, buddy.
Yeah, what's happened with your mic?
They had to have been strategic on that because I was sitting in the as far back as possible to make sure I wasn't in that thing.
Yeah, this is one is right after the break, right after Jason talked, and they were just switching to the edge compute session, and you'd moved up to talk to somebody or do something. I caught it. It's like, yeah, I got him.
So I want to know how much scrubbing you did to find the one snapshot of Dylan.
Actually, I was looking for the short that I made where Action gave us a call out. That's what I was looking for. It's like, I know he said at some point in time he pointed out Serenity and said, I want to make short out of that one. And so I happened to find this part while I was looking for that. So, hey, Wild Angel, how you doing, dear? And yes, Wild Angel is off at work today. Thank you so much, love, for working the second job so that we can do things like Deep in Day and go to Denver next month and allow me to come here on Friday. So huge love and praise, and thank you so much for wonderful support that Wild Angel gives, because she does a lot just to make sure I can be here with you guys every day. And everybody says, hi, Wild Angel. Hi, Wild Angel. So, guys and gals, tonight's topic, of course, is wisdom in the chaos. Now, this was inspired by Mr. Crow himself. It's all his fault. I'm totally blaming him. But it also comes down to some of the things that we've got going on in the world. I mean, right now, you look in the markets, and they're up, they're down, they're up, nobody knows. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. In politics, we won't even get into the politics train because that's just psychotic, crazy, and yeah. But either way, it creates these emotional uncertainties and these trials and tribulations that we're all going through in our lives in different ways. And, you know, when Crow recommended his favorite quote, which I'm going to have him read here in a sec, it got me thinking, you know, most of the wisdom that we gain in life is through chaos and trials and tribulation. I mean, it's rarely do we find true meaningful wisdom when things are peace and calm and quiet and everything's going smooth as silk. I mean, why look that deep? But man, when life is in turmoil, that's when the wisdom really kicks in, because it has to. Otherwise, we're not going to survive it. So, Crow, if you would, my man, open it up with your favorite quote of wisdom that has changed your life.
Favorite quote here. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Mahatma Gandhi.
I like it. So what does that sound out to you particularly, Crow? What makes that your favorite?
It's just really puts into perspective that live, like spend, as much time as you can to read books, to do research, to learn things. Like, don't squander an opportunity to learn. So always learn as if you have forever. Always try to absorb knowledge. Always learn more. You can never stop learning things. There's just too much information out there. But to live as if you're to die tomorrow. As I've always said, go do the thing. Stop sitting down, whether that's, you've been putting off cleaning, so it's like I gotta go do the thing. Or it's go skydiving. You've always wanted to. Go do it. You only live once. Don't squander it.
Absolutely. And, that's one of those, to me, it's kind of counterintuitive. Learn as if you have all the time in the world, but live like you're going to die tomorrow. I was like, wait a minute, doesn't that go against itself? That's kind of weird. But at the same time, I could see some people saying, well, why should I learn all this stuff if I'm like me? I'm 53 years old. Why should I bother learning all this? I'm already old. Why not? I don't know when tomorrow is going to end. So it's interesting.
I've always taken it as you have the opportunity to go do something fun, go do it, because you only live once. Don't not go do the thing that you want to go do. But when an opportunity arises to learn something, or if you just feel like you want to go learn something, go do it and act as if you have all the time in the world. Go reread that one page that kind of confuses you 6-7 times till you finally get it.
I like it. So, and I know somebody put in here saying, oh no, it's quotes. No, it doesn't have to be quotes. It's really about the wisdom of life, because everybody right now is dealing with turmoil of some kind. I mean, face it, the financial world's chaos. The government is retarded. World War III is around the corner. Who knows what the hell is going to happen tomorrow? And too many people get caught up in this drama, and they forget to live. They forget to learn. They forget to grow. They think, why bother? It's the end of the world. What the hell? But, here Down Home Crypto, that's not what we're about. We're about that every day is a gift, and we're going to make it the best we possibly can. But it's so hard in today's media society. I mean, Sai, how do you fight it, my man, with all the negativity? How do you still keep that positive energy out there, putting ducks out and trying to change the world for a better place?
Well, if all we have is the now, right, then what matters most is what we do with our now. Yes, you can try to work for, an overarching goal, right? But the purpose of life is to be happy at the end of the day. But the quote that I like is actually, it was written by Robert Heinlein. It's from his book Time Enough for Love, right? And the quote is, a human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze new problems, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, and die gallantly. Specialization is for insects.
I like that. That is cool.
That Indian.
Man, that's like a mic drop right there. Okay, game over, man. That just did it all.
That did. That actually did. Whoa. It basically just said, do everything you want to. Why the heck should you specialize? That is dope. That is dope.
Well,
I like that.
And it was summed up nicely by the Dalai Lama when he said, the purpose of life is to be happy.
Right. Yeah. And that's one thing a lot of us forget. And sometimes we feel guilty about being happy. It's like, man, the world's in chaos, everything. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be this happy. You guys have run into that, or is that just me?
Yeah, I can see it.
I did. And then I kind of just thought about it and I was like, no, why shouldn't I be happy?
Right.
I flipped it on its head. And ever since then, I've never had been a situation where that question's ever arisen again.
That's good. I think a lot of people still fight with that, Crow. So it's good that you were able to learn that lesson so early. Now, Smiley, I got a question for you because you are always like this happy, sunshiny person, but yet you just got over the plague. So of course, when you got the plague, you're probably not that happy, sunny, and shiny. How do you get that back after you've gone through something like the plague or some tragedy? I mean, what's your trick to get back up on top of the world and get that sun shining again?
Oh, I don't have a trick. Wow. I don't know. I'm sorry. You always ask me these questions and I always come back with, I don't know. I don't know why. I go blank every time you ask me these questions. I just totally do. It's terrible.
You need to know.
I think
Right.
it started a long time ago with this was my defense mechanism and that my world was chaos. And so I purposely just focused on the moment or the one thing or how I could be happy because it was the only way I could survive. And so it's kind of my survival trick. And so even when I had COVID, I would focus on the one thing that I could enjoy or that would make me happy So I don't get grumpy, and I actually wasn't grumpy when I was sick. I mean, I sounded horrible and I looked horrible, but I wasn't really that grumpy. And I remember going to the urgent care and it's only a mile from my house now because where I used to live, it was an hour away. And I kept thinking, wow, this is such a nice urgent care. Oh, wow, look, everything is so new. Oh, look, everybody's so nice. And I was talking with the girl behind the front desk and she was telling me how to use their whole new system. It's all completely on iPads and interconnected. I was like, this is so cool. So I guess my answer is it's just a whole lens, the way I look at the world, because it makes life livable for me so that I don't completely fall apart.
And you didn't think you had an answer. You had beautiful wisdom there, girl.
Oh, well, thanks.
And, Urge, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Good to see you back here. Love the answer. Yeah, me too. I think it's great. Urge says, I relate to Smiley. It's for our survival. Being happy is our choice to react in tough situations. And it is. I agree totally, Urge. And, the tough situations come up all the time now. Dylan, of course, in your line of work, buddy, you've always got some major decisions or something major happening. So how do you keep a positive outlook? Why are you going through all these tragedies and just solving problems left and right? It's like, so you end up ball like me pulling away her out. How do you do it?
Oh, that's a good question. I never really thought about it. I mean, I guess I talk to the team a lot, and they get to hear the side of me nobody else does. Let's just put it that way. Certain situations call for certain words of encouragement.
A lot of things we can't say here.
Yeah.
Well, it's far enough in the stream. Yeah, we can say pretty much whatever we want.
Yeah, no, we just talk it out and see what we all think. We do like a vote. So everything is voted on within the company. So if I know we got to do it this way, we're going to do it this way. But other than that, we will vote it in if I'm unsure.
Nice. I like that. That's a good way to lead it. That's always been my philosophy is, the captain has to drive the boat, but it takes the whole crew to make the boat go. So the captain's useless without the crew. Crew's useless without the captain to run the course. So it's cool that you found that good balance. And I think a lot of people, they get money or they get power, they get it in a elevated situation. They're like, look how holier than thou I am. And it's like, dude, you still put your pants on one leg at a time. When you get the flu, you're still praying to the goddess of porcelain, just like I am, so you're no better. And a lot of people forget that when they start to get success and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it happens. It happens very quick. I went through about 2 years of it, actually. And then I got my ass humbled real quick. So let's just put it that way.
That's a good thing. I know I went through that when I had Vapeology, and my company went from like little shed to totally blown up overnight. Like, oh my God, I'm worth millions. And then I found out really quick that I didn't lose the attitude quick enough. And so literally they mutinied and everything, went bad. I went from bottom to bottom again really quick in about 4 years. So I'm glad that you learned before that happened to you, Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
So, Alpha, my man, you've got a new adventure coming up. And all this wisdom, of course, it's going to be a lot of work. You already know that. But if somebody's like you're in a challenging situation. I mean, we've talked about it here on the stream several times where you don't have a lot of money to go out and just start this huge studio and go crazy, but yet you still want to change people's lives. And so I'm really kind of curious with things as challenging of some of your situations that you're facing, why would you want to spend your time educating and teaching others? What makes that worthwhile to you, buddy?
Because I enjoy it. It's like it's the thing that I enjoy most. I absolutely love teaching. I love teaching people things that I know. I love explaining things to others. It's like the thing that I enjoy most. Out of everything, I would say that's the thing I enjoy most. I love coding. I love eating. Okay, maybe not all the time, but I love my chocolates. I love my sweets. But if there's something at the very top of the list, it would be being able to share knowledge. I suppose that's the more accurate way. I absolutely love sharing things that I know and helping people to understand things. It's just how it is. It's like, I suppose, I've always seen people struggle with different things, and for me it's always like, okay, I see you struggling. I want to be able to take you out of that state of struggle. And it's just become a very big part of my personality. I think a lot of my friends probably get annoyed with it, how I'm always teaching. It's always a teaching moment with me. It's never, oh, this is happening. No, it's always oh, this happened because, there's this and there's that and this and that. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I had to explain it, okay? It can be the most simple thing ever. Be like, oh, that car drove past. Did you know? I can already
walking encyclopedia.
Imagine. Yeah, basically. It's because I love absorbing all different kinds of knowledge and then regurgitating that in a way that other people can understand. Especially since half of the time, what I understand is far from what anyone else does. So a friend of mine will maybe read some part of a code, or he will read a little bit of an API for how something works, but then he just kind of reads the surface level. Then I'll go back to him and be like, okay, so you read this, but do you understand what you read? He'll be like, nah, I didn't read further. I'm like, well, you're lucky you have me, because I went to read 3 pages of documentation. So now I'm going to just squeeze it into a few sentences for you so that you understand. And he's going to be like, yeah, I knew you were going to do that. That's why I didn't bother. It's like, I mean, I enjoy it though. I enjoy it. It's when I'm at my happiest, when I get to teach. So that's why. It's a selfish reason. I'm selfish like that. I want to teach. That's all I want to do.
I have to say, Alpha is an excellent teacher. He has helped me so many times to understand things that I just couldn't figure out. He's very generous with his time. If you ask, he will help you. And so I think this is a really good path for you, Alpha. And follow your passions. Whatever your topics are that you are most passionate about and you love the most, do that, because it comes across when you're explaining it to people. If you enjoy it and you're passionate about it, they're going to enjoy it too.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And, if I love the fact you say I'm selfish because I want to teach. Man, that is like the ultimate oxymoron right there. That's epic. I love it.
It is.
So,
definitely.
I think it's great. And hey, we got another party crasher coming in. Look at that. Revenant, what's up, my man?
Hi there.
Hi, Rev.
How goes it?
I'm tired.
We get a few tired people tonight.
Well, when you look at it, I went to bed yesterday at like 10, 11 or something like that, because I got off at like 7, hung out with Myra for a bit, and then I ended up taking a nap, woke up at 1, and then was up from like 1. I was like, oh, this is fun.
Terrible. Self-inflicted. But hey, either way, we're glad to have you, brother.
It is very inflicted. My body's like, you know what? I hate you today. You're getting up at 1. It's like, okay, fine.
That's evil. It'll get even with you. It happens. So now, Alpha, you're going to be doing content. You're going to be teaching and stuff. Now, Sai, one of your big things you've got going is an entire lesson of stuff. In fact, we have it in Down Home Crypto Discord. So tell us about that. How does that kind of fit along with what Alpha's doing? It sounds like you guys are on a very similar journey.
Maybe. We both are trying to teach, right? And I think that's kind of ultimately what everyone's goal should be, right? Is to learn something beneficial to other people and then to try to teach that. And it's a good journey. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the subject matter, because one of the best ways to learn is to teach. But yeah, I think it's great, and I wish you all the best on your journey, sir. And of course, as you know, any connections that I can make for you, I will try to do so. I heard you had a meeting the other week. I hope it went well.
It did.
Good.
Tell us more. Come on. Tell us about it, Alpha.
It was with Finevant. I met up with Brian. I actually met him Friday, and then I met him again this Saturday. Still didn't get the chance to speak to Sai. I was supposed to speak to you, but this week was a little too crazy. So yeah, I had a chat with him about Phoenix X and everything, and them launching, having things touching down here in South Africa, Cape Town and Joburg, and I think he said in Durban too. So that was cool. I had a chat with him about how things are going here, where they are launched. I think he said 6 locations, all Pick n Pays here, and then 3 other countries, Lebanon. Can't remember other countries. I'm just gonna skip over it. So yeah, I had a good chat with him about how things are going, what's kind of coming next, and then how I could help with getting things more on the road, and what I can do by leveraging what I know, who I know, in order to get Phoenix X further out, to get more people involved, to get more people looking at it, and maybe buying the phone, trying it out, sharing it with their friends. Because I've got a bit of a network, especially here in South Africa, since I live here. It's I should have a bit of a network by now. So yeah, definitely, I try to be fairly tight-lipped about my client. I guess Alpha is bragging very
vicariously.
It's not words. I just fell over my tongue 5 times in a row.
It's not a common word. But yeah, the meeting was with a client of mine. I've been helping them with the strategy and logistics of their expansion across the entire continent of Africa. And so when I heard that they were going to be in the same town as Alpha, I said, hey, let's crack open a door and see where you walk with it.
Hopefully it's not to like Narnia or some weird place like that. That kind of suck.
He falls down the rabbit hole and he's gone. Where'd Alpha go? We don't know. He fell.
That would definitely suck. So I hope not.
Well, if you'll probably have the opportunity to do so before me, but if you continue walking down that particular path and being buddy with Brian and Chris over there at Finevent as well, you would probably be able to get a meeting with the Minister of Science for Nambia, because they know him. So if you're working on any kind of cool little tech thing or whatnot, and you want to present it to the Minister of Science, I'm sure Brian could help set it up for you.
That is cool. I haven't gotten to meet Chris yet, because Chris was in a whole different part of Cape Town. But
yeah, they had to divide and conquer.
Yeah, he was telling me Chris is at one of the other locations and is like trying to get everything sorted there. I was like, it's cool, being actually hands-on, being there instead of just like having other people do it. It's like it's a very different thing.
Well, you see why I like them and why I've been working with them for over a year now. They've been a client of mine, and that's why I stopped picking up clients from the DeFi space. With my consultation firm, it's just I'd rather focus my time in areas that matter, and what they're doing honestly kind of aligns with what all of us here hoped that Web3 would bring about in the world, right?
Yeah.
You know, bring the access to the finance industry to people who don't have access to banks, you know, access to that crypto right there in their hands.
Yep. Oh, and it makes it so easy too. That was the very cool part of things.
Did you get to play with one of the Phoenix X's?
Yes, I actually did. I went through everything. Like Brian stood there and he just saw me going zip in, zip in, zip in. In one app, in another app, close this one, close that one. Oh, check this one, check that. Go through all the settings quickly. Within I think 2 hours, I went through everything in the phone. It was just like, yeah,
Well,
you know the phone better than me. I was like, wow. I'm picked.
Well, the reason why I wanted to connect you with them, man, is because they're trying to sell something that is not sold in the typical manner, right? Because typically in Africa, you know, when a cell phone salesman is trying to sell a cell phone, he goes straight to the specs, you know, the best camera or, you know, this and this and that. When in reality, this device, it is cheaper. It's meant to be cheaper so that people have access to all of the infrastructure that's packaged with it, right? And it gives them time back because they can put their money to work for them, you know, easily right there within the device, you know, plus it has this CPU miners that come with it, all that fun stuff, right? So it's giving them time back. So where you're going to be really valuable to Brian and Chris specifically is being able to help teach the sales people that they're getting from the contract firms right now and teach them how to actually portray the device to a potential consumer.
Yeah. I actually, while I was there for those 2 days, they actually had different people over both days, which was like, okay, fine. But on the first day, that's exactly what I did. I went through every part of the phone, and then when the people that were supposed to be there came, I was just like, okay, so this is this, and this is that, and this is that, and this is that. And then one of them was actually very receptive. She listened to everything I was saying. The other guy was just very dismissive, very annoying. Because it's like every time you're telling something, it's like, oh, but I don't care about crypto. Well, what the heck are you doing here?
Right.
I don't care if you don't care about crypto. You're supposed to be selling the phone. I got very upset, to be honest. I'm still very upset about it because, I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not you care about it. This is your job. You're supposed to be focusing on that, not about, oh, no, I don't want to have anything to do with crypto. I'm going to throw the towel in on that. I was like, yeah, that is kind of what you can see. That they weren't trained on how to sell the device itself. They don't even know about the device properly. And I was like, okay, is there a spec sheet that we can give to the people that they can kind of read through and know about? And I was like, yeah, there is, but it's kind of very extensive. I was like, oh we got problems. We got problems because we can't give a technical breakdown to people that's non-technical. Then they're going to read it and they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is ancient script, thank you.
So you want to read hieroglyphics?
Yeah, would you like to read this hieroglyphics? Yes, basically.
What language is this?
Gibberish?
Exactly, so I was like, damn. I was telling Brian, okay, maybe if I can get a technical breakdown and I can get a little more details on things, then I can probably write up something that would be a little easier to explain to the people that are non-technical, the people that have to sell the devices, where they can just go to a cheat sheet of sorts and tell people, oh, there's this, this, and this. Then they're not going through 500 points, they're going through 3 points that are going to get different people. Because that's how you kind of sell. You have to figure out what the person wants and then go for that. Every person is going to be different. One person is going to be very interested in that there's a crypto wallet built in, while another person is going to be a little more interested in, oh, there's a cashback monthly. Okay, that's all I need to know. Then another person is going to be focused on, what kind of added security is there? Every person's different, so you kind of have to have certain things that are going to focus where you can tell the person in 3 seconds, oh, I got you. Because that's what I did while I was there. I showed them that's what you have to do. And then the girl, oh, she's so lovely. She took that in immediately. She went to go speak to this one person, and the person was like, I'm coming back for my phone. It's like, there you go. You knew what you wanted. You gave it to her, and now she's coming back.
There you go. And it sounds like you were working some magic over there.
Very fun. I quite enjoy those kinds of things. So yeah.
And that's one of the hardest things I always find is I start diving into these different projects or different protocols, different things, and trying to figure out what people want to know, because everybody wants to know something different. It's just like everybody up here. We're all here for a different reason. We all have a different thing that clicks with us, and trying to find that one thing to get somebody interested, that's a challenge. And especially when there's so much noise in the world. The crazier things are, the harder it is to get people to pay attention. So I'm really kind of curious. So Crow, when you work in a chaotic environment, you've got all this going on, when you're trying to get somebody to actually be interested in what you're teaching, and Smiley went bye-bye. Night, Smiley. Love you. She said she was only going to be on for an hour, but I just picked on her, so I didn't want to pick her on her again. So I hope you get feeling better, Smiley. We love you. Get some rest. But Crow, how do you get people to get interested in what you're trying to teach them? What's your trick?
Depends on the person, really. My go-to method, the thing I try to do is I try to engage their mind, ask questions. Be like, I'll bring them to like a room, and I'll just be like, "What's wrong with this room?" And then they'll go,
It's square.
Is there something wrong with it? Like, there's something wrong with it. Find the problem. And then I'll watch them, and then they'll ask questions. Is it this? Is it this? And I'm like, no, yes. And then if they can't come up with the answer themselves, then I'll start being like, what about this code? What about this code? What about this code? And engage their mind to think about it, and then that way they work the problem in their own head. They did it themselves, maybe with a little holding their hand a little bit, but they still came to the conclusion themselves. So they went through the problem themselves, and that tends to usually stick a little bit better.
Okay, so even with all the stuff going on around you and all the noise and everything in the chaos, you almost turn it into a game then. Is that what you're saying?
Completely like that.
I like games. Games are fun.
They can be. They can also be very annoying, especially when it's like your job on the line, like you're talking there.
Yeah.
And just like Alpha's talking, as far as selling phones, I mean, you got to be able to read those people and find the trigger really quick. So I'm kind of curious, Rev, when you're trying to communicate a message to somebody, what type of tactics do you use to read that person quickly? Do you feel it out? Do you ask them feeler questions, or do you just start going, bah, here's all the information and let them sort it out? What do you do?
Well, that's kind of an interesting and loaded question, because it would really depend on the mood I'm in and what mood that, the other person's in. Now, if they seem, very casual and chill, it's like, okay, I'll be casual and chill. Like, hey, I've noticed these problems come up, or this happened. What do you want to do to fix it? Now, if they're just kind of being, an a-hole, and it's like, oh, why wasn't this done? Well, I had to pull down palette X, Y, Z, and Q, and you wanted me to work all of them, and you also wanted me to fill up the water aisle, and you also wanted me to do this, and all of it's done, but I didn't get to that specific thing because you loaded me up with everything else. And it's not how I take it is not, I'm not being accused, or I'm saying, this is what happened. This went down. All these are done. Couldn't get to this. Kind of sucks. There you go. And now, like with you, if it's like, hey H, what happened here? Well, this happened. I'm sorry. Now if you're like, what the heck? Why weren't you doing this? I was doing this. I could care less. Well, it just kind of depends on the feel that I'm getting from them. If they just want a straight answer, I'll give them a straight answer. But if they want to, be all threatening and blame me, I'll turn right back on them. Because that's what happened. I'm giving them the straight answer. I'm not lying to them. I'm not trying to blame someone else. Here you go. You suffer. That's what it is.
That's the facts.
I took a speech class one time, and one of the things they said to properly engage your audience is you get on their level. So, like, something
I'm
that
not as short as you.
Oh, wow. I mean,
Ow,
like,
that hurt.
Like, if they're super energetic, you start your speech energetic, and you basically try to match the general crowd's like emotion level. Like if they're all somber, you bring it down, and you basically try to. That's how you start your speech, and then once you got them, they'll start paying attention a little bit, and then you can start to. If you speak louder, then their emotions will start to rise, or if you start lowering your voice or tone, then their emotions will drop, and that's how you can kind of keep a crowd interacting.
So kind of like a storyteller almost.
Yeah, very much so. It
Okay.
You get these people who sit there and this is how they talk the whole time, and you really don't want to feel engaged when they talk like this. You kind of want to just take a nap, don't you?
Yeah.
But if you have someone who's really like bringing you with them on this journey and you're matching their energy, it's a completely different feel. 110%.
I don't know about
It
that with
does.
Serenity. Sometimes he's just loud, obnoxious. I'm like, God, can someone get him to shut up? Good lord.
So, and that's interesting because I would mostly agree, and I'm sure everybody else has an opinion there. I try to almost stay a step ahead of their emotions. So if I want to guide them to a more excited, start to work it up. So I'll go up a little bit. Hopefully they match me, then keep going and kind of walk them up. But going down is the same thing. I can go from super hyped to like, oh dear God. Okay, so now we've really got to sit down and talk about this because this is something serious and it really affects us deeply. And everyone's like, oh shit, what? And like, oh God, he's never like this.
then
So
the
those
fun
drastic
scenario-
changes seem to help. Do what?
Really quick on that, how you're talking like, if they're giving me energy, I give it to them back. Is it almost like a one-up on energetic? Or how would you scale that? Like, are you trying to have a competition of who can be the cheeriest? Or is it you're trying to increase yours to increase theirs so you both rise?
There you go. Trying to guide them on a journey. And, there's a comment here by Smedley. And Smedley, thank you, buddy. How to get someone interested is a really good point. The one thing that I have found that works 100 out of 100 times is put money in their pocket. Then the question flows freely. And, that's a great point, Smedley. But one thing that was brought up in Deep and I thought that was a great topic. It's one that Action brought up, is that in a lot of these newer technologies, okay, a lot of them aren't going to be lucrative or financially explosive in gains until the technology is adopted. And so a lot of the things I've tried to teach and guide is about the growth of the technology and how it's advancing. Now, take the internet or cell phones, any of those. If you're old like me, which I am, I remember when the internet was born. I remember when the first cell phones came out. And at the time, they weren't that popular. They're like, it's a fad. Nobody wants it. Now you got 80-year-old people sitting on their computers all day long or their cell phones like they can't not unplug. But back then, man, nobody wanted it. It was like, that's just stupid fad. Only the punk kids want it. But the technology was there. And so realizing that sometimes I have to teach that there's a benefit in technology, and it may not have financial gains today, maybe not even tomorrow. But if that technology does continue to grow and advance, it can be very lucrative. But it does take that speculative time. And that's really hard sometimes. A lot of these things, there's not always a dollar sign I can put at the end of the lesson, but I can put hey, do you realize that if this occurs, it could lead to something huge? And that's a real hard message to get across. And it says, also, if someone does not have interest, I respect the decision and move on. That's a great one because so many of us, we get so excited, we forget that the other person may not care. I actually have my brother. He wants nothing to do with crypto. And so when he's around, I just don't talk about it. Unless somebody asks me, then I'll answer a question. But beyond that, they're like, hey, how's life going? Pretty good. Had a stream, did this, did that. And, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't go down the rabbit hole of crazy like I do with you guys. I was like, hey, I just found this new deep into it. I love coming out here every Friday. It's like, okay, here's my rabbit hole for the first 15, 20 minutes. There you go. Now let's just go down everybody's rabbit hole. And it's tough. It's tough to balance out what people do want to learn about and don't. Sorry, go, Si.
I just said giggity, that's all.
Giggity? What is giggity?
You're going down everyone's rabbit hole, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much.
Giggity, 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 giggity.
Okay, somebody draw that in crayon because somehow it's not connected. The pieces are like missing on me.
Giggity is,
Giggity. That's all you need to know.
It's an innuendo. about being in
Feel
your
like they
endo.
speak in a different language, but it's fine.
It's from a character from Family Guy, and it's something he would say when he would say something sexual or something like that, and then go giggity.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay, I get
Okay.
it. I get it.
Thank you.
His name
I've
is
never seen Family Guy. I had no idea.
I know what you're talking about. That
I
guy.
know who you're talking about.
I did. I heard.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
My stick.
Got stick, big, got stick, alarm is my.
What are you doing with a stick, Crow? You gonna beat somebody into caring about it or what?
Trying to
Probably.
get Becky to smash.
Oh.
If you don't know that meme, then I apologize. Hopefully someone does.
No, I just I usually play with a pen. That's usually what I do to keep my hands busy. But I didn't want to use a pen, so I got a stick now.
The stick is good.
You went to the lumber store to buy a pen and they were out, so you bought a board? Okay.
No, I
Yes, because he might use it later. Who knows?
don't want to talk about how many pens I have.
Too many.
Too many. That's a good number. But no, it was just since quitting smoking, I'm trying to replace the habit when I would be smoking with something else. So like in between Call of Duty matches or while we're chatting and I'm doing stuff, instead of sitting there puffing, I do something else. Like usually it's a pen. Today it's a stick.
Could always replace it with crack cocaine.
That's such a good idea. I will be right back.
Wash our hair with the green sheet.
Black
Well,
Tar
from
It's
what
only
I
crack, you know. It's only
From
crack,
what I-
okay.
from what I hear, it's easier to quit than nicotine. So I don't know.
I've been doing good. It's just it helps. I don't get the urge at all.
That's pretty cool.
That's good.
Cool.
But I just gotta keep my hands busy because that's like I said. Usually when I'm chatting with you guys or we're playing Call of Duty, my hands are usually doing something. And it used to be smoking, so instead I do something else.
That's not me. Obviously.
Giggity.
Giggity. I love it. Okay, so, man, we went down a rabbit hole. Giggity. Okay, and away we went. We're back.
No, we're still on Giggity, I think.
Are we good? So yeah, Alpha says multiplying the energy. Exactly. Yeah. If I want to lead somebody into a lesson, I've got to get them interested somehow. And so, like Curry, you're playing a game with them. That kind of helps them block out the noise, all the chaos that's going on around them, and gets them involved. Like, okay, now it's a challenge, it's a game, it's a different thing. So, Sai, when you're trying to teach somebody and they're not getting how do you spin it? What kind of tricks do you have to start teaching that lesson where, if it is something they want to learn but they're just lost, how do you get them on the tracks?
You hit them with a stick.
Well, if you utilize analogies effectively, you can bring understanding to someone because you just got to figure out what their base understanding is. And then from there, you can build. Ultimately, if you're not matching or if you're not getting results, it's because you're trying to approach at a level that is not yet built, or maybe they're so far beyond that already that it's no longer of interest to them. I don't want to sit here and talk about like crazy basics. That's boring.
Yeah. That makes sense. And it's one of those. But now, of course, you and I had the Rags to Riches journey, and we actually ran into this problem after we were running for about 8 months. We started getting the points like, okay, we're covering the basics again and again. And so there's a challenge there of getting new people flowing in, and then have the seasoned veterans already there as well. It's like, how do you cater to a mixed community? What do you find is the best trick for that?
I mean, ultimately, you don't, right? Because what you're teaching or what you're doing is going to be applicable to a specific demographic, right? And it's not going to fit for everyone. Just like, hell, growth isn't even fit for everyone. Some people exist just to show you what it looks like if you don't, right? So,
Yep.
It's just the nature of it. So if you're not getting results where you're at, move.
And if you don't, Crow will hit you with the board to make you move. And that's a great point. And a lot of people do. They like to wallow. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and it was all about the drama and all these things. I forget. God, who the hell was I talking to? Alpha. Was it Alpha? Was it you, Crow?
I have no idea.
No, I think it was Duff. I think it was Duff I was talking to earlier today, and he was sharing another content creator, and it was it Grumpy Old Man or something like that, and he just feeds on the drama, and he may not have any facts, but he's just like, "This how horrible this is. It's terrible. Oh my god!" And I was like, "Why do people watch that?" And I went and watched the video, and it was just feeding on the drama thing. So I wonder, if people don't want to move, do they tend to gravitate towards that are the pitiful people that are wallowing in the misery, or why do people get into that?
We talking on the receiving end or the giving end?
Either. Why do they choose to stay in that level?
It could be the sense of power. If they're given that sense of like anguishment, could be a sense that I have power over you.
Interesting.
Like speculation. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed saying that's what it is, but I mean, like, if someone can cause you grief and pain, and you let them, and it actually affects them, that's a sense of power. I mean, technically, that is power. Like you got hackers in like Call of Duty. People who sit there and that's all they do, and they're just dishing out anguish. And you got people who are sitting there yelling at them, and that's probably the only reason they're doing hacking in Call of Duty, because there's no gain. Eventually their account's gonna get banned, so there's not like their level is gonna get super high or something like that. All they're doing is dealing out anguish, and the only source of thing they're getting back from it is your reaction.
Is it bad? I want to say cough, cough, Daniel.
Actually, I was just talking to somebody recently who happens to be on stage with us, who told me stories about breaking controllers because he got so angry.
Hey.
I was waiting for it.
They don't make controllers like they used to. I remember.
Whoa.
I can't remember if it was me or my brother. The old Xbox 360 controllers.
Yes, it took a good hits before it broke. New ones, you barely drop it, it breaks.
Damn. Sorry.
Yeah, the 360. I can't remember if it was me or my brother. We ended up accidentally hitting it with a sharp katana, and all it did was dent the controller. Then we picked it back up and continued playing.
Accidentally,
They don't make it
really?
like they used to.
All it is have a little bitty dent in it, and it was great. It was perfect. It still worked. I mean, we
It's like
hit it.
it's like the Nokia phones, man. Those things are bulletproof. I threw those things so many times and bounced them off shit. Yeah.
I actually broke
Oh
one.
yeah.
How? Nuclear bomb?
Damn.
So,
Like a
like
new
my,
season
this
now.
actually plays into the stick thing. I have a problem staying still. I have to fidget. I have to be doing something. So my thing when I had the Nokia phone was I'd sit there and they had these rubber gaskets for their charging ports, and I would sit there while I was doing nothing. I would pull the rubber gasket out, put it back in, and I would just sit there and do that 100 times a day, easy. Yep. Well, after a while, those rubber gaskets were really well made. They fit perfectly inside of it, to the point that I ripped out the guts of the phone with it.
Oops.
You gutted a phone. Okay. You ever think of anger management classes, Crow? I mean,
I went to go charge it, and I pulled like this, and then all of a sudden, just the whole charging system is bleh. That's not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think?
I wear that as a badge of honor. I broke a Nokia phone.
I mean, it's not a Purple Heart, but it's definitely up there, and things people say that they don't have.
this is true.
It's one of
Go ahead,
those.
Side. Take it away, man.
Take what away?
I don't know. I just saw you unmute. Usually that means you got a comment. I was waiting for it.
Oh no, I mute when I cough.
Oh, okay. I was turned over to you. So, and kind of going along this education and the hostility, it kind of goes around there. So now, Dylan, of course, you have lately been meeting with a lot of these big corporate entities, people like that maybe they don't have any knowledge of, Web3 or DPIN or anything like that. And you're trying to go in and talk to these private schools and stuff like that. How do you get people like that interested that have no knowledge, no understanding? How do you spark that conversation? What kind of tactics do you use to get them interested?
Well, so for one, in the state of Pennsylvania, I'm very well known. All the people within the state know I have 70,000+ Bitcoin because I had to report it. So they all know me very well, and they know I'm not doing it for the money. They know I'm doing it to better the education for the future generations. And a lot of them are like, okay, well, we can do this, but you have to do it for free, or else we have to go through a whole process to do this.
Okay, so you actually kind of have to put yourself on the line to get them to start to see the benefits of it.
Yeah, it's more of you put your reputation up, you fail at it, and your reputation's down the drain back then.
I can see that. Sorry, I'm turning the music down. It seemed to get a lot louder. I don't know if it's just me or not.
It does that.
Don't worry, you're old and senile. You'll get used to it.
I'm sorry. Who are you? Who am I? Why am I here? What?
Exactly.
Who are you people?
I need some money.
Let's hold something soft. You won't hurt yourself, I hope.
I ain't got nothing soft. Sorry. So, that's interesting, Joel, because I was looking at the map the other day, just Boise area, and looking at hotspots. Because, by the way, if I was supposed to share this earlier, remember I told you guys a while back that CBRS radios, if you had one and were paying the fees on it for helium, you could go in and fill out the form to get a replacement. Well, they actually sent me an indoor hotspot to replace my indoor CBRS radio since they're no longer valid on helium. And I was looking at the map to put it over at Revenant's house because him and his fiance both use the helium cell phones. And I realized most of the city does not have hotspots, but they all have a 1X grid across like 90% of the city. Like, oh my God, I need like 500 of these things just go door to door to door to door. And we could build a huge network here. It'd be amazing. But I was curious, how would somebody do something like that? And like you're saying, you pretty much have to step up, do it all yourself. And then after they see the benefit, then you can look at exchange or something like that. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Trespassing is always an option.
Ain't illegal if you don't get caught.
How do you plug in the network cable?
Why do you think they invented
We don't
breaking
ask
and
these
entering?
questions.
It's called breaking and entering. We don't do that.
Listen, if you want cuddles, I don't want to hear, how'd you get in my house?
or
It's
the
2 in the
why.
morning. Just accept it and go to sleep.
Okay, it just got weird. Why does it always get weird? What is up with our group?
It's only weird if you make it weird.
I always make it weird. Part of my job.
I mean, that's the problem then.
Probably is. So, let's bring it back full circle. So, Alpha, of course, you're just making these connections, which is awesome. I really want to get one of those phones to try it out, but I guess they don't work here in the States. Is that correct?
Not licensed yet, from what I recall speaking with Brian. So,
Wow.
yeah. Technically not yet, but it did also mention something. I don't think I'm allowed to share it though, so there's that. It did say they want to do something for the States and the EU, and I think like the upper Asia countries. So
I shot you a DM. I'll be expecting a reply here in 5 minutes.
but he did mention, just in passing, like there's something coming for the States. I was like, okay, cool. That's all I need to know.
Perfect.
The
Rose,
details
how you doing, dear?
are probably NDA'd, so there's that.
Yeah, don't get yourself in trouble already. So, Rose says, I have no idea what I just walked into. Rose, Matt, neither do I. I have no clue. I was even supervised. Look, I had all these people on the stage, and still it went sideways. Don't ask me.
It always should.
It's the guy playing with this wood in the corner. That's just the one that's bugging me down there, but we won't get into that.
I was just thinking about, do you guys remember watching Ed, and Eddie?
Oh my god.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Watch Ed,
Are you
Ed,
guys
you
all
like that
paid
guy
on
now.
Blink?
Yeah,
Do
I'm
what?
taking plank.
You got
Alright.
the plank. You got the plank.
I got plank.
no.
Are you taking plank everywhere?
So, for Jimbo over here, and anyone else who hasn't seen Ed, Ed, and Eddie, older cartoon, inside the TV show Ed, Ed, and Eddie, there's this piece of wood called Plank, and he is, I forget his name, he's one of the characters' like best friends. And this kid takes Plank with him everywhere he goes. That's his best friend. And he's got little eyes, a little smiley face, and that's Plank. And they're best friends. And usually, like, Ed or Eddie steal Plank, and they have to. And then he's like, "Where have you guys seen Plank?"
And you guys watch this.
It
My
was-
choice.
Okay, to be fair, Dad, I used to watch it when I was growing up. So it's been a while since.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember Plank.
Yeah.
To be fair, Ed, Ed, and Eddie did have some very deep subtext. If you look at kind of like the fact that their parents were just never there compared to the rest of the kids in the cul-de-sac, and that they lived in a much poorer house compared to everybody else in the cul-de-sac. And
all
you
they're
can
trying
see
to-
a lot of...
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
All they're trying to do is get enough money to go buy a gobstopper.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like the whole premise of the show. They're just trying to get enough money to go buy a singular gobstopper.
You're
You're
muted,
muted.
Serenity.
I feel like Serenity just had a life.
My bad. I say, well, to get an everlasting gobstopper, you got to get the golden ticket, then you go to the plant, and then you steal it, and then you sell it to Slugworth. That's how that works, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So do you want to repeat who you sell it to?
Slugworth.
Okay. That is not what I heard.
What did you hear?
Wait.
Never mind. I don't want to know what you heard.
You don't. You don't.
I don't. And, Delords, good to have you, buddy. I got to meet Delords at Deepin Day. Yes, it was awesome. One of the gentlemen I got to meet, I'm honored. Good to have you here, brother.
Nice.
Yeah. So I asked people, I earn crypto while I sleep 24/7 with devices and awesome tech. That's when the questions start. Oh, you tell people, okay. And it does. And that's one of the great things is it does start getting people interested. But unfortunately, what about the projects that are building the technology and they haven't gotten to the point where it's actually profitable yet? A lot of us, I know we missed out on the beginning of the Helium network when they first came out. Nobody knew about them. They weren't making any money. People that got in then, and then Helium just went psychotic. That's when they all sold, and they make tons of money. And then everybody else started to copy them. By then, it wasn't lucrative anymore, and we all lost our shirts because we bought stupid expensive equipment, like me. And then profits went down the tube. So how do you get people interested when it hasn't hit the profitable stage yet, but the technology might be there? We talked a lot about this at Deepin Day, and that's one of the hardest things is to educate people on the tech and why it's cutting edge, why it's so crucial, like edge computing. Why is that important, and how can it be so revolutionary if it's not showing any profits yet? So that's one of the biggest challenges I have. So Alpha, how do you go about that? Educating somebody when there's no financial thing to back it yet?
Those are usually the hardest ones. I suppose it depends on the person. Like I said earlier, different people respond to different things. It's kind of like I tend to always try to find something that I know will interest the person, and then I'll just focus on that. Like, okay, there's this, and then see, okay, test the waters. Okay, I got you now. And then I'll just go with that. Whatever I see works, whatever gets a little bit of interest, you'll see the expression change. Like, oh, there you go. That's when you just like you hit the nail, you drive the nail straight into the coffin. I got you now. It's like that.
Wow.
That one. What's it meme? The Pokemon meme where it's like
Who's
me
that?
trying to get a girlfriend, not working. Me getting that Pokemon, gotcha, bitch. Just throw that Pokeball. Just throw it, gotcha.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you're out at a club and Alpha throws a Pokeball at you, obviously he's trying to pick you up for a date. Now we know. Okay, so
Exactly.
good to know.
Those
I
are
use
Pokeballs.
ducks personally.
Itself is love language.
Exactly,
Pokeball.
throwing things.
Pokeballs.
Hey, there's gonna be a girl that falls for that. They like nerdy people. I guarantee.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, I got someone that likes nerdy people, so no.
Dude, nerds are like rock stars nowadays. I mean, since crypto's taken off, yeah. The nerds, yeah, they're getting the girls. But,
the
so
nerds
Sai,
also know. But the
Yeah.
nerds also don't know about being secure and, not flaunting their money. That's why they get, taken away for a few days to get beaten so that they can extort 2 million from you. Ledger.
Yeah.
Ledger co-founder
Yeah.
got kidnapped and then they extorted money. So it's like, why'd you brag, bro? Why'd you brag?
right. How dumb can you be, man? Come on. Hey,
Don't
the
post
world's
your
getting
house.
crazy.
Don't post your house. Seriously.
I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for any idiot who decides to come here. It's like, really? Wow. Okay, I'm just going to set Wild Angel loose. Yeah, she's armed. She's a veteran. She's unstable. Go ahead. I dare you. You're going to wish you never came over.
Sounds very safe.
Uh-huh. And we're in Idaho. 100,000 miles of desert. You're a missing person unless they
man.
find evidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, makes it fun. So, Sly, I'm kind of curious. Now, you're in Casey Consulting. You deal with a lot of people. They probably come to you, or I'm guessing you have some sort of connections. But if you're trying to reach out to somebody and they have no idea about the technology and you're trying to introduce them to it, what kind of professional tricks or recommendations do you have to get that conversation started?
Well, ultimately, when I'm in that situation, it's when I'm talking with a company, right? And it's because it would offer them value. So you need to get to the value proposition as soon as possible whenever you're communicating with someone, especially if you're trying to sell them on something. But just in life in general, everybody secretly is thinking, okay, what's in it for me and what does this person want in exchange, right? Because it's the basis of a lot of interaction. I give you this, you give me that. You give me that, I give you this. It's just how it goes. Even down to trading time and labor for money. Right? So everyone is thinking that. So the sooner you can get to what it can do for them, the better off you're going to be in this conversation. So I like to focus on how much money they would save by switching their operations over to a new method, right?
So it's not always about how much you can make. It's about how you can save as well as another way to go about it.
Right. I mean, every company is rife with inefficiencies. It's just the nature of it. And so the question is, how much money is that inefficiency worth to them to have fixed, right? If people are offering a fix and it's not going to justify the cost, they're just going to leave it broken. We've seen that time and time again where they know a medication has a certain side effect and they choose to not do a recall because it's cheaper to just settle up, out of court with anyone who raises a lawsuit over it, So you got to give a cost benefit analysis. And the best way to do that is to show them how they'll save money and make sure that whatever solution you are selling them is going to cost less than what they're getting back.
Gotcha. Okay. And that makes sense. So financial thing. Now let's go to more the educational or spiritual part. How do you do that same thing if you're trying to help somebody with, let's say, depression or education, or you're trying to raise their lifestyle emotionally, not financially, but just emotionally? Something. How do you go about that?
Well, first and foremost, in order for somebody who is adrift to begin to grow, they need to have a solid foundation, right? And sometimes that's just that one person who will listen and not judge, or give the solid sound advice that is in their best interest, instead of how it usually goes when someone gives advice or says, oh man, you should check out this project or invest into this thing. It's because it's what they're interested in. It's what they would buy. It's what they would do. No, what actually works for their situation. and what is something that you can break down into small enough steps that they could just focus on that one single step, and bring it to them, right? That's how you're going to reach someone who may not be ready to be reached yet. Maybe they're not stretching their arm out. Maybe they're trying to protect themselves. Ultimately, everyone, I believe, aside from those who are, got something mentally wrong, is trying to do good the best way they know how. In whatever messed up situation that they were raised in, whatever botched genetics that they've got from the last 14 generations, whatever it may be, right? But they're all trying to focus on, doing good and growing.
That makes sense. And I think everybody is looking for, some next level, whether it's emotional, it's mental, it's physical, relationship, financial, career, take your pick. I think everybody has a step up they want to do somewhere. So I'm really kind of curious. So Crow, when you've dealt with people who, might be a little more protected, maybe they've come from an abusive situation or they react negatively to ridicule, things like that. How do you get past that to help them realize they have potential and to start letting them see that? What kind of tactics do you like to use to just push, to share your wisdom with them in a non-threatening manner, I guess?
That one's kind of a loaded question because you can only share or give or do anything to someone in that situation if they are willing to receive. So it's mostly them taking that first step, that first question, that first whatever that brings them, I don't say into the fold, but basically lets you do the teaching or the educating or the wisdom or whatever. But when someone's in a situation like that, you can't, I don't think there's much of anything you could do to completely willingly bring them out and have it actually work and stick. They have to take that first step.
Absolutely. It's the difference between it. I've said this before in certain Discords where I was trying to share some information that would help someone. But I say I'm going to stop tossing pearls now. And, that's a reference to a parable in the Bible. And so a lot of people tend to understand that reference, but basically they're talking about don't toss pearls before swine because they're not going to appreciate it. It's the same thing as, sowing seed in fertile ground, right? If you're going to throw it on ground that's not ready for growth, it's not going to grow. The birds are going to get at it or whatever before the ground takes the seed and fruit comes from it. So the ground has to be ready to grow. Absolutely, Crow.
But I guess the only thing that you can do in that situation is let them know that you're willing to share. I mean, the way I like to do it is to teach other people around them. That may sound a little messed up, but to show them that, hey, if you take this first step, I can teach you, we can help you with this, especially whatever. A lot of that happens during our morning meetings and at work, just the banter of how was your night? I mean, that's something I say every morning. Every morning I say good morning to everybody, individually, not just as generally. I go good morning to you, yada yada, the whole line, and then I'll start picking at people randomly. How was your night? Did you do anything crazy? How was your night? Or if it's Friday, how you got plans this weekend? Talk to them about that and just engage them.
Got it. And that's a good way to the engagement. I think that's what's really key is letting people know that you're there. And I agree with both of you guys because you can't really force somebody. One of the tricks that I've liked to use is I keep showing up. Even when they don't expect, even when there's nothing there, it's just stopping in, just checking in, see, hey, how you doing? May not even talk to them, just let them know that I'm there somewhere. And if they need me, it's okay, I'm always around. You can always find me, easy to locate. So Oh, look at that. We got a super chat. Smedley Butler, thank you, buddy, for the $10 super chat. That's awesome, brother. Can speaker provide a specific example of providing the value proposition that was successful? Company names are not required. A value proposition is successful. I've used a lot of the different things we've discussed here, and I love to get everybody's different opinions. One that I've personally used a lot of is Helium, the Helium cell phone plan. I use the example of my real world activity. I will not promote anything I haven't tried. I'm not going to say you're going to get rich. I always say do your own research. Don't listen to me or anybody else. That's one of the most important things is let them know it's up to them. I will show you what I've done. I'll show you how I've succeeded and why I succeeded, what I had to have in place to do that. And the Helium cell phone plan is one of the best ones. In fact, I know that most people, except for somebody in the corner who we won't discuss, Crow, refused to change. I had to do it, buddy. But I was able to do that because I could take my cell phone. I could say, look, took my phone out this day. I made this much money. I took my phone out this day. I made this much money. At the end of the month, my bill is $20. I made $31. There you go. It's that simple. Some days will be worth more, some will less. But I try to give the proposition of factual data. Things that, not just what I've pulled off the internet or off of screens, but information that I can gather. Now, that's if the facts exist. Now, if they don't exist, then I have to go with the technology aspect like we talked before. It's like, okay, this has the potential to do this. I'm not saying it's going to, but if A, B, and C occur, it could be very lucrative. But it's a risk, and I always throw that in there because I don't want to say, well, you told me. So I think it's a very fine line on how we present these propositions. Some people may never want to hear it. They're like, nah, I don't care. My company's got problems. I'm fine. I'm comfortable with the problems. I'll leave the problems alone. I work for a place like that. In fact, Crow and I spoke of that last night in great length at the place he still works that I quit from. Don't ask me how that place still runs. I really don't know. But there are others, some you can give cut and dry propositions, some you have to do speculative, and some they just flat don't care. So it really depends on the situation. Just like everybody here has been talking about is you got to read the person, got to read what it is they're after or what problem you can remedy for them or what's their value proposition. I hope that answered your question, buddy. After when someone is closed off and not willing to learn anything, you can't force them. You have to wait for them to be open to learning. Got to have patience and try other ways to give them. Absolutely, Alpha Cruz. I agree. So, Alpha, man, since you posted these, brother, take it away. Keep going on that.
Oh, yeah. Just adding on to what Crow was talking about. Like, if someone's not willing to take your advice or to listen to what you're saying or what you have to say, or even, you showing them a better way of doing something, you can't force them. You have to wait for them to get to the point where they realize, oh, I should ask for help. Because some people are just so stuck in their ways where they believe that they are right and they have no reason to see any other person's way of doing things. It's like, it's maybe not that it's not always like that. It's just that they don't fathom that there could be another way. Sometimes it's just like that, They might not think they know better. It's just that they don't understand that there could be a better way. It's just so weird also. But it's just like, when people are like that, you kind of have to be like, okay, cool. You're in your bubble. I respect your bubble. I will wait until you decide that you're going to pop your bubble yourself. Hey, Wild Angel, have a great weekend to you too. Yeah, it's just like, it's very interesting because you can't kind of try to force someone into learning something. You have to give them that room to decide that they want to listen to what you have to say.
Right. That's a good point. And by the way, oh, sorry, Alpha, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all good. I was done speaking now.
Okay. I was going to agree. That's a great point. And I want to say, Medley, thank you so much for the super chat. And I hope that answered. And man, anybody has questions or you want to learn more, anything I can do to help with, jump to the Down Home Crypto Discord. Yeah, I'm always in there, happy to chat, as well as all these great people and so many more. So good place to hang out. The link's in the description down below. But Alpha, you brought up a great point. Until they're willing, God, how did you phrase it? Because, sorry, I'm doing like three things at once. To get people to realize there's another way. Now that's a challenge right there within itself, because if somebody's only lived one way, they may not even have a clue there's a different way to live, whether it be with religion or with the way they were raised or all these different things. Sai, like you're saying, people are pretty much formed by what, they're 7 years old. Is that right?
You receive your initial programming by the time you're 7. Yes.
Okay. So if they haven't received any other programming that those first 7 years, and they don't get any examples of that, how do you open up their eyes to that? You know, what do you guys suggest to get them to see there's a better way or a different way?
I mean, don't know if it's a good way. It's just a way. Shock is a way. I'm just being honest. I mean, shock is a good
with
way.
a plank.
No, I mean, like, that's how. Yeah, I mean, you got people who went to prison and got shocked from there. The initial shock and everything from it. Who have developed habits from inside prison that they'll never ever break in their whole life. Just because that was the way they did it. There's literally the name for a shock and awe when you go into basic training for most branches of the armed forces. That's what they like to do, shock and awe. I mean, it completely breaks them down and they build them up how they want them to be.
Maybe
Not
molding.
saying it's the
Nice.
right way or it's a good thing, but I mean,
Nice.
that's something that,
It can be done.
that's a way.
Can confirm. Just watched my younger brother go through basic. Completely different person by the time he came out of it.
Oh yeah. I can tell you, I've got several members of the family that are veterans, and every one of them is very different when they got out than when they went in. That's even before they went over to Afghanistan or different places. Yeah, it's an effective way. I don't know if it's healthy or good. I'm not going to say that, but it's definitely effective.
Your question was a way. I gave you a way.
You did. So what's another way? So, you know, Rev, you've been awful quiet down there, so I'm going to pick on you for a minute. So if you know that somebody's in a bad or unhealthy situation or something like that, and you're trying to show them there's a better way, how do you like to do that?
It's gonna sound really dumb and really lazy, but I show them. Like, for me, the best way is to. For me, I'm a visual and hands-on learner. I'm not a very good auditory learner, so it's like, hey, you should do it this way. I've done a lot of my work stuff. It's like Tony will sit there and go, okay, how do you do it? Let me see. I'll do it. He goes, I do it this way. How about you give it a shot? And, you know, it's like downstacking pallets and stuff like that. And it helped me out a lot. And it's not for everybody, but I do know that for me personally, I would much rather see whatever is going on than hear about it or something like that. So when Tony pulls me aside and says, okay, let's work on this together, I appreciate that. And like for Myra, it's like, okay, let's work on this. Let's do this instead of, you know, how you're doing it. Let's see if there's a better way. And we'll go through different ways and solutions of how to do it. And we'll come to a common ground. Okay, this seems easier. What do you think? And if she says yes, it's like, all right, well, then there we go. We found our middle ground. But some people, it's just very much back to what Alpha said. If they're not willing to do it, there's really no way to do it. So I try and make it a little bit easier. Be like, okay, let's try and figure out, you know, a different way. And it very much seems to help, but it's not for everybody.
That's a good point. So let's turn the tide here a little bit. And Dylan, I'm going to pick on you because you've been way quiet down there for a bit. So what happens when we don't talk up? I just start picking on you.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I know you are. You lived with me long enough. So, Dylan, now, of course, you've been doing crypto for many years. Been very successful in a lot of ways. But let's say somebody comes in with a different way, different method, that maybe goes against your standard practices and brings this to you and says, hey, I think we should be doing this, and here's why. They may not have the length of experience or not. And so how much credit do you give someone like that? Or do you just like, hey, let's give it a shot? Or are you more like, seriously, man, this is left field. What are you thinking? How do you deal with something like that?
So I'm a little bit different. If someone goes out of their way to approach me at an event because I won't answer people in DM. But if they go out of their way to reach me at an event, I'll give it a shot. I'm like, okay, well, you were determined enough to come find me. I guess I'll give it a shot. And that's how I do things.
Dude, that's pretty cool. That I've got to say, that is a very commendable because that's a rarity. At least in my experience, anytime I've tried to tell somebody, hey, let's try it this way. If they've been doing it for years a certain way, they're like, why would I do that? That's just dumb. And I actually have to fight with them to prove that, hey, look, I just saved, 10% off the time or the money or whatever it is to do it. So the fact you're that open, man, that's pretty cool. That seems pretty rare. Is that just my experience, guys, or have you guys all run into that same kind of thing?
Yep. I feel like that's the normal way people react. You're like, oh, but you could do it like this, and you're like, nah.
You know what I love saying?
Why?
So when people are saying stuff like that, it's like, we've done that for years. Doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it the best way.
Exactly. So what do they have to do to prove it to you that it's the best way? The new way is better than the old way.
Show me it's more efficient.
Get the plank.
Because I'm going to do it the most efficient way, right? If you want me to do it a different way, show me how it's more efficient. Otherwise, I'm going to do it my way because it's the most efficient way, and I value my time and energy expense.
I like that. So it's proven. Really simple. It's like, okay, you want me to do it? Prove it. That makes sense.
I'll 100% change the way I do it if the way you show me is more efficient or if it's better. 100% right then and there. And, I will do it that way from there on out. But it's like, show me that it's more efficient.
I like it.
Good.
So is there, out of curiosity, is there anybody up here that would not change? Like, nope, I don't care if it's more efficient. I'm still doing it this way because that's the way I've always done it.
Depends.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd say it really depends on what's going on.
Depends on I always fall back to electrical because that's my profession. If you come up and you say, for some reason, going against doing this one thing makes it way faster, but in my mind, I'm like, that's unsafe. That could cause a potential for someone's house to be on fire. Even if they sit here and they, show me 3 different ways how it's still safe, I'm not going to compromise my integrity, even though they could very well be safe. But if I don't think it's safe, then I'm not going to do it. Even if it's faster. Just because I don't want that on my conscience.
That's a very good point. And yeah, I'm guilty of that as well. One of the big things is you can simply just strip a wire and shove it in the back of a light switch. And while I was there, I wouldn't allow it. It's like, no, there's too much motion, too much vibration. I'm worried about that screw getting loose, that wire popping out. Not doing it. And I had people get mad at me. And you can ask her, I wouldn't back down. Like, no, I will not compromise. And so, I'm curious, is there any other reason that would cause you not to listen to something that's more efficient besides safety?
It could be order of operations, like if someone came up to me from my miniatures and said, if you do it this way and it's faster, but I enjoy it this way more, so an enjoyment factor.
Is that?
But if it's like work and it's like time sensitive, like, hey, if you do it this way, it's 10 times faster, then I default to that, as long as it's not unsafe.
Okay, so safety and enjoyment. Got any more? Bye, Sai. I knew it was about that time because, yes, it is about time to wrap this up.
I feel like for me, it would also be in the idea of, like, let's say you're like, okay, hey, let's do this, and we'll do it this way because it's going to be super quick. And you're like really pushing me. No, we have to do it this way. We have to do it this way. That's a no for me. If you're going to sit there and be stuck up, it has to be done this way because it's the best. No, I won't do it. Because you're forcing me to do something that I don't want to do.
And that makes sense. And, I think we face a lot of that in this world. And that's kind of what tonight's topic is all about, is wisdom within the chaos. Because right now, there's a lot of things going down, guys, in the financial world, the political world, legally, you name it. Everything, it's chaos right now out there. And, a lot of people are uncertain. A lot of people are scared. I know some people had problems even getting their Social Security the other day, because who knows what happened there, and I won't get into it. But there's a lot of uncertainty in the world today. And so the whole thing tonight is there are going to be times of uncertainty. There are going to be times of challenges. There will be times when you just don't know which way to go. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I stay right? I don't know. Nothing seems right. And I hope some of the wisdom that we've been able to share with you and let you know that, hey, you're not alone out there. We all get in those moments of time. And there's times in life when we all feel that way. And one thing we can guarantee is the sun will rise tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be a better day. Why? Because we choose to make it that way. And if you surround yourself with good people, with the right reasons and the right motives, they're going to help you get there, whatever your adventure is. So, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and all other small farm animals, it is sadly almost time to wrap it up. And I wanted to share one of my favorite quotes, and something that I built Down Home Crypto all around. And you can ask these guys who have known me my whole life, or their whole lives. This is something I live by, and it's something I thoroughly believe in, and this is what Down Home Crypto is all about, which is the bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's lives. And that is so true, and that's what we are here for. So if you're watching this, whether live or on Restream, I highly recommend jump to the Down Home Crypto Discord. Guarantee whatever challenges you're facing, whatever trials and tribulations you're going through, somebody here has probably been through something very similar or is going through it. And hey, we've got your back. We'll help you however we can. We'll help you with wisdom, with knowledge, with time, with whatever we can do. Because we want to make sure you come out the other side and we all grow together. So I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. And guys, I'm going to let you guys lead us out. But remember, make sure to like and subscribe and tune in next Friday, because we'll be here for another crazy adventure of we have no idea where we're going, but it'll be fun. It always is. Love you guys. Alpha, take it out of here, buddy.
I think we'll go on the last point that we spoke about. Something being faster might not be more efficient, because efficient would be an overall improvement on everything without compromise. But faster might be get it done, but with compromises. So, gotta keep that in mind.
I like it. Go for it. Yeah.
Be safe, be smart, make good decisions, have fun, live life.
Well said. There you go, Dylan.
What?
You gotta lead us out. You gotta give a final word of wisdom, basically.
Yeah.
Skip for now.
What? You can't just skip. That's no fun.
No. Okay, we'll go to Rev. We'll come back to you, Dylan, because, we need some words of wisdom, buddy. So, Rev, what words of wisdom do you have for people out there tonight?
Well, currently, I am playing a game. And even through this, I still had a fantastic time here talking with the crew. And I would honestly say, please do jump in the Down Home Crypto. Because, we're hectic. Like, I'm gaming and talking and, see what my fiance is doing over here and all this weird stuff. But some people here, much like Serenity, Dylan, Alpha, sometimes Crow, will have very important things to give if you ask. It's like, hey, I'm going through whatever it is. And, can I get some help? All of us, me included, will be happy to jump in and have a chat with you. Serenity's built a safe community here, and not the more people we have, the better, because we're, more popular. No, screw that. Who cares about popularity? We're making a family here where, I know that I was crying a couple days ago, and I went to Crow. I was like, Crow, I need to talk. And he was there for me. And he'll be there for anybody. All you got to say is, hey, I want to talk. And we'll be here. So think about joining the Discord. Come say hey. Come hang out. We got your back no matter what. And have a good night.
Well said. Okay, Dylan. Words of wisdom, brother. What do you got?
Save first, watch every dollar, and let patience grow your wealth.
I like it. I like it. Very
heard
wise.
dollar.
Very.
That's about all I caught.
Say it again, just in case some didn't hear you. Don't.
You want me to say it again? Okay. Save first, watch every dollar, and let patience grow your wealth.
Okay. That was definitely
Everybody
a lot
got
more
that?
clear on my end.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and that's good advice. And guys, remember these investments you're getting into, they may only pay a few pennies a day, if that. But if you take those pennies and you put them to work, have the patience. Just keep growing, you will get there. And just make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good people that are supporting you on your adventure. And if not, man, we're always here to support you in whatever your adventure is. But I want to say thank you all. Everybody, love you. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next Friday. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.